Hey, my lovely friends. So, have you ever wondered, could President Trump actually run for a third term? It's one of those topics that's sparked endless speculation, memes, and even some heated debates online. But just recently, President Trump himself finally addressed the question directly, and his answer might surprise a lot of people. During a chat with reporters aboard Air Force One, President Trump said something that caught a lot of attention. He said, "I guess I'm not allowed to run," and then added, "It's pretty clear." He was referring to the U.S. Constitution's two-term limit for presidents, and it sounded like, at least for now, he's acknowledging that a third term just isn't in the cards. But then, in classic Trump fashion, he followed up with, "I guess we'll see what happens." And that little tease, that "we'll see what happens," is what got everyone talking again. Now, you might be wondering, why is this such a big deal? Well, it's because for months, there's been chatter, both from Trump supporters and critics, about the possibility of him somehow running again in 2028. People have floated all kinds of ideas, from rewriting parts of the Constitution to finding some kind of legal loophole. But as constitutional experts keep reminding everyone, the 22nd Amendment is pretty straightforward. It clearly says no person can be elected president more than twice. That means, under the current law, Trump's done when it comes to running for president again. Still, it's interesting, right? Because even though Trump now says it's pretty clear he can't run again, he's been known to keep the media and his opponents guessing. He's joked about a third term before, at rallies on Truth Social, and even in fundraising emails. Sometimes it's said with a wink, other times in a way that sounds like he's testing the waters. It's part of his brand, to always keep people wondering what's next. But here's a question for you. Do you think Trump is really closing the door on 2028? Or do you think he's just leaving that what if alive to keep people engaged? Because one thing's for sure, even if he can't legally run again, his influence in American politics isn't fading anytime soon. Think about it. Even if Trump can't be on the ballot, he could easily play kingmaker in the Republican Party. He's still the most popular figure among the GOP base. So if he can't run, who might he back? Could we see Trump's endorsement become the single most powerful ticket to the nomination in 2028? And speaking of influence, remember when Speaker Mike Johnson said he had talked with Trump about this? Johnson made it clear that he didn't see a path for Trump to run again, emphasizing that the Constitution simply doesn't allow it. That's a pretty strong statement coming from one of Trump's biggest allies. It almost signals that, behind the scenes, even Trump's team knows where the legal line is. Still, it's fascinating to see how this narrative keeps evolving. Some Trump supporters insist that the amendment could be changed, though that would be nearly impossible without massive political support across the country. Others suggest he could try to become vice president, but again, the 22nd Amendment and the 12th Amendment make that route extremely complicated. So, if the door to 2028 is closed, maybe the real story isn't about Trump running again, but about what comes next for him politically. Maybe he becomes the ultimate power broker, helping to decide who carries the MAGA torch into the next election. Maybe he focuses on reshaping the Republican Party long-term. Or maybe, and this is just speculation, he turns his attention toward global politics, media, or even starting a new political movement entirely. Knowing Trump, it's hard to imagine him just quietly stepping away from the spotlight. What do you think? Will Trump remain the driving force in Republican politics even without another run? And who could possibly step into those shoes? One thing's clear, Trump's acknowledgement that a third term is off the table gives clarity to one of the biggest political rumors of the past year. But it also opens up a new phase of speculation. Because if Trump isn't running again, then 2028 is wide open. And you can bet potential candidates are already thinking about how to position themselves for that race. So, as of now, President Trump says it's pretty clear he can't run again. The Constitution supports that. But knowing how unpredictable American politics can be, it's safe to say, this probably won't be the last time we hear talk about it. Alright, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is really the end of Trump's presidential campaigns? Or is there another twist waiting down the road? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. We post deep dives and quick takes on the biggest stories shaping America and the world. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.